Welcome back to How to Mom, the series that's becoming where I do things as a mom, the things in my daily life, and talk about it while trying to make sense of this whole thing we call motherhood. Um, Today, join me as I get ready. I have a dinner later on, big family dinner. Speaking of family, but there is one thing on my mind that I want to talk about with this whole motherhood thing. So let's just get down to it. So, what I do, just talking about how to mom, basically, we're all looking for answers. There aren't answers. There's no one answer, I should say. You kind of have to do what works for you. You have to do what works for your family, and you have to hold true to that because not everyone's going to see it the same way as you. Not everyone is going to necessarily agree with you, but if it works for you and your family, then screw the outside world, do what works for you, and just keep going. For me, that means taking time out in the evenings once, my kids are they're older now, so it's not, it's not as difficult. They're definitely more independent, but even when they were younger, it meant taking time out once they were kind of settled or going to bed and taking time, to get back to myself. And sometimes that meant listening to music. Sometimes that meant lighting a candle, reading a book. Sometimes it meant going for a hot soak because I hadn't had one in weeks at that point. So basically, you just have to find what works for you. And sometimes that's going to change day to day. And sometimes it can change month to month. I know at one point in time, I was a huge night owl because that's when I could get time. Um, I was up a lot through the night anyway, so it just kind of made more sense to head to bed at a later time. um, just with the way my kids' schedules worked and stuff like that. So I created this time at night that worked for me. Um, but it doesn't work so well anymore because with my kids getting older and one of them has hit teenagehood, he's staying up later and later. He has the stamina for that, whereas I do not. So for a long time, my time was first thing in the morning, before everyone else woke up because everyone else would sleep in late and I was the um, early to bed, early to rise. I don't necessarily know if that made me any wiser or not, so I'm not going to put much faith in behind that um, saying, but it did allow me to have some time to myself first thing in the morning where I could pour a cup of coffee. I could maybe have some soft music playing if I wanted to. I could stick something on YouTube meditation wise, or I could just read a damn book because let's face it, like when you've grown up as a bookworm for years and then suddenly you don't have time to get into a book and really enjoy it. Um, I mean, you know, I love being a mother, but it was really hard watching my to be read pile just grow and grow and grow and not being able to get to it as much as I wanted to. Because every time I sat down to start reading, um, I would get interrupted. It's motherhood for you. So just having that time in the morning where I could set things up the way I wanted to, when I wanted to, that didn't work. That's okay. We can we can fix that up. Just helped me set the tone for my day, and it actually let me be more present for my kids and my family later on because I had already developed that time in the morning to myself. So from there, um, it's a bit harder now because as much as my kids are ones who sleep in, they also have school in the mornings, and my oldest has always probably for the last like 5 years or so, 6 o'clock in the morning is when he wakes up, even as a teenager, even on weekends. Anybody else's teenager do this? Because I always, you know, in a way I was conditioned, brought up that, teenagers sleep in late and that's what they do. Um, I myself did not get to sleep in late as a teenager. It wasn't really allowed. Um, But anyway, so he wakes up at 6 in the morning. which means if I want any time to myself first thing in the morning, I'm waking up at like 5 or 5:30, which I've since learned for whatever reason doesn't work for me so well anymore as it did even just a few years ago. So I've been evolving. In my early 20s, I was the night owl. In my early 30s, I was the, wake up super early kind of person. Now I'm at the point where it's like I take some time to myself at the end of the night, right before I go to bed, probably for about an hour, hour and a half. Um, the things that I do for myself haven't really changed so much in the last few years. It's still reading a good book, putting on a candle, listening to music. I'm just very protective more now of that time because it's moved around so much. So, um, what am I getting at with that? There is a trend going on social media, and it has for the last several years. And it's one that really, really, really bugs me because it continues with this whole thing of keeping moms playing small, feeling guilty for taking time for themselves, and basically just coming to the decision that they obviously don't deserve it. There are memes going around, funny things going around. It is supposed to be, I guess, sort of a haha kind of thing, but it bugs me and I want to address it. Um, the ones are, they're saying that, ooh, grocery shopping, time to myself, or oh, I get to go for a drive for 30 minutes, that's me time, or oh my God, I got to shower today. I got my full 10 minutes of me time. No, no. Errands, you're running them. You're still focusing on other things going on. You're still focusing on the people on the road and in the grocery stores. And we all know what a nightmare that can be. You're making lists. You're deciding what needs to be bought, what you've already bought, what you're going to prep for dinner, what you need for dinner to prep. Um, you're still scheduling things like if I do the grocery shopping now, do I have to pick up the kids later? What time? A shower is a basic human necessity. It's a right to be clean like that. That is not me time. That, I mean, it can be, but it should not be decided that that is your me time for the day. Going for a drive, yeah, it's soothing. I've done it, but you're still focusing on what's going on the road and other people and where you have to be and when you have to come back. Me time is that time you get to disconnect. And those things, those jobs, those errands, those basic rights, those are not considered the time necessarily that you disconnect. Not in the sense of a 5-minute shower between responsibilities. If you're going to go for a hot soak or an Epsom salts bath or something like that, yeah, that is me time. That is disconnection time, but not your 5-minute shower before all hell breaks loose. And these are the kinds of things that we're being taught that we should just accept as our me time. If you want to, fine, go for it. That's your decision. But for me, that is not me time, and that is not something that we should just be accepting as our standard. Those are things that we would be allowing other people to have to do without, saying, okay, that's your time. Now I own you for the rest of the day. But we are expected to act like that's how it is. So it bugs me. And the fact that it's like, it's there year after year. We never get to forget about it. It's being brought up. Yeah, it's a joke. I get it. But at what point does a repeated joke become a truth? Just want to leave you with that little question. In the meantime, I am still working on the whole helping moms to do confidence and happiness. I've recently signed up to help moms with financial freedom and stuff like that. The link for that will be below in the description. It's an awesome opportunity for moms to get to just be moms and do all the things with their kids that they want to without having to worry about budgeting regularly. And you can do it off your phone. So win-win. Yeah, check the comments. And if there's other topics about motherhood you want me to talk about, please let me know. I'm open to ideas. The intention for the series is to basically help moms feel like they're not alone, that there's stuff that's relatable, stuff I just want to get off my chest. And hey, sometimes, if I can make you laugh at the same time, amazing. So yeah, feel free. See ya.